Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I'm here with race 54 of the Boulevard Trinity Cup. Why am I starting this far in and not starting you guys further back? Because up to this point, everything has been very straightforward with stage 5 only cars. Knowing these events, I know that things don't get tough until the last few races. So I'm going to just run you through the final few races where you start to run into some issues with having to have stage 6s. Now, let me tell you, the game does give you 3 stage 6s, one for each car up to this point. So if you're short on stage 6s for any one of the 3 cars, just know that they come in order. So first lock-in gets the first stage 6, second gets second, third gets third. The strongest car here is the Copo, which is pretty fast without stage 6s at 9.2. The HPE, which is a purple star that I have, isn't bad either, around 9.3, but the Ford Cobra jet turns out to be rather slow without stage 6s at about 9.7 to 9.8. Now, I know from experience that the final few races is where things are going to get real crazy. Most likely the final 4 or 5 races is when you're going to get stuck. The other piece is knowing the Ford Cobra jet is relatively slow. I suspect that's going to be the one that I'm going to have some issue with as far as running into a opponent that have a hard time to beat. Speaking of which, we're at race 54 out of 60 and I'm already running into issues here. Let's take a look. And it is with the Cobra jet as expected. So let's see how far off we are with the Cobra jet. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't bother to tune this really hard, nor am I really using possibly the best shift pattern here. All I know is I'm running around what dyno is, and that is a 9.8 at stage 5 only, at least based on my tune. So the opponent runs a 9.5. You're not going to be able to get through. This Cobra jet obtained an engine stage 6 as the one that I got from earlier races. So I'm going to put that in, even though the car is fully maxed otherwise. I could run it fully maxed. Obviously, this will be a very, very simple cup. But I'm just trying to show you guys what could be challenging and which races. So engine stage 6 actually isn't that bad as stage 6 for this car. Dropping my time with some tuning. Now, it's not... You know, it could be better possibly on the tune, but let's just say 9.416. We'll take a look, C0100. I don't think changing the tire is going to make any difference, and yeah. All right, good enough for now. We'll stick with this. 9.419, 9.416, that's just a few thousandths difference. Probably even worth, not even worth tuning for. Going down now to hard, which usually means it's no problem. And we still got about 6 races to go, so definitely going to get stuck somewhere down the line here. But again, the difficult races won't really start until later. Now, the Cobra jet was my second lock-in. Now, if I put the Copo here instead of the Cobra jet, I may not need to upgrade to get through this race, assuming the game locks these numbers in no matter which way you lock in your cars. So keep in mind that if you put the Cobra jet, let's say as lock-in number 3, and put the Copo as lock-in number 2 and go with the Dodge for the first lock-in, your pattern might be different. Now, regardless, you're going to have more difficulty here if you did that manner of lock-in, because this one's using 1 and 3, which would end up being the Copo or something else, and number 3 would have been Cobra jet. This would have been tougher, but the Copo Camaro is so fast and it beats dyno a little bit, that it may compensate no matter what. So the strongest car here, stage 5 only, I would say is the Copo, with the HPE coming a close second, but the Ford is pretty far behind. All right, so this this relay won't be an issue at this point. I was so far ahead with the Copo, I don't think I'm going to have any problems, and I don't. So the race 54 right now is the first of the quote issue races that required stage 6 to be installed. Everything else is still stage 5 only, and we made it through to now race 56. So 7, 8, 9, 10. So we only got about 5 races left, counting race 56. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it's still on hard, not extreme. So race 56 isn't an issue. Let's go ahead and get it done. The needle drop and third gear nitrous is the best for the Copo. Unlike the Cobra Jet and the HPE, this one has such an easy shift pattern that I actually remember it. The other two, I'm just winging it because I really don't know for sure. Okay, so race 57, yet again, extreme. Let's see how bad it is, and then we'll figure out. Oh, of course, it's the Cobra Jet again, which right now dyno's 9.4 and probably runs 9.4 to 5. Ooh, that's a big gap. That is a big gap. So that's going to be a problem. Let's see how difficult now it is. 8.6. Okay, so that's pretty rough. To drop from 9.8 to 8.6, you're going to need definitely two very strong stage 6s for the Cobra Jet. I know from playing with this car before that body is a pretty strong stage 6. So let's put body in first, see where that puts us before I start adding any other stage 6s. Look at that nice little jump, but I don't think that's enough to push us into the 8.6 territory. But think about it, you're going from 9.7 to whatever this is going to give us. Let's see what the dyno says. No fine tune. 8.96. So you drop about a second with body. So body is an extremely strong S6. If you have body, 2 should definitely get you to 8.6. But then, you don't want to be stuck getting intake or turbo or something. That may not help you enough. Engine is definitely going to be enough because that dropped us from 9.8 to 9.4. So if I take the one I got from the race, which is engine, and I put it with body, should be good enough. Okay. Nitrous is another possibility, but actually this car isn't strong on nitrous. Oh, well, actually that doesn't look too bad. Let's take a look. I'm not sure nitrous is going to drop me enough though. Let me take a look here. So the combination with body with something strong should do it, but body with something weaker, we'll have to see. Let me see what nitrous. Yep, 8.6. So that should do it as well. You probably can even tweak it for a few more points, but bottom line is nitrous 8.606 should be enough as well. So body nitrous. Let's go ahead and put back the one we were given in the race, assuming you're going to use that in body. Let's see what that comes out to be. Okay, so let's put engine back in. Now I'm not going to do all of these, but I know turbo and intake's weaker. Tire and trans might be pretty much okay, much like engine or nitrous. So you probably have like 4. Anything 4 with body should do it. If you have intake and turbo, I'm sorry, you're going to need a lot more stage 6s. That's just the way these stage 6s work, and sometimes they suck. Yeah, that's even faster, 8.4. We'll stick with that and go ahead and move on. So the Ford Cobra Jet, okay, here we go. It loaded. So Ford Cobra Jet, we're looking at 2 stage 6s with body being one of the strongest. Now, assuming you don't have that 1 second drop from body, you may very well need 3 to 4 stage 6s to get this done. So this car is definitely the quote weak link in the overall scheme of things. But even assuming that, I assume with the other 2 cars, if you're missing the strong stage 6, it'll be the same thing. You're going to need either 2, 1, or many more. All right, yet again, extreme. That's the next car, I'm sure, in the series. So as I expected, last few races are real tough, and you're not going to be able to get through easily. Let's see here. Way behind. So again, this is probably another 8.6 versus 9.3 situation. Let's see what we got here. Yep, 8.6, 9.3. Far enough off that we're going to need a strong stage 6 to pull this off too. Probably 2. Let's take a look at 1, see if any 1 stage 6 will get us close, and then we can see if... now, I got nitrous as part of what the game gave me during the event, if that was the case, I wouldn't even be close. I mean, you can tell from the numbers here that's just not going to work. It may drop me a few tenths, but it's not going to drop me to 8.6, right? So the game gave me a stage 6. That's just not going to be enough. We're definitely going to need something else. Okay, 9.041. Even if I tune it, I doubt it's going to get much better. 9.008. So 9.3 to 9.0 is an okay drop, not great, but certainly not enough to get the job done here. You're going to have to go back and add more stage 6s or get, quote, the strong stage 6 here. Now, again, with these tier 5 cars, you know, sometimes the strongest stage 6 will be body. Let's take a look at body first, see if that's a pretty strong one or not. Not bad. Probably not enough, but it's not bad. Let's take a look. Nope, not going to cut it. Now, maybe the tuning there can add some points, but again, 8.5 is too far off from 8.6. I mean, 8.8 is too far off from 8.6 for us to get that, because that's an 8.85, and I'm not looking at much quicker than that. Yeah, 8.815. Yeah, nope, too far off. Okay, so let's do a test run to see if it's any good. Maybe I can get under dyno. I doubt it. I don't recall this car running under dyno by much, if anything. If anything, it runs a little over dyno. Assuming my shift pattern's even right here, but I'm pretty sure the shift pattern's not too far off. I'm not going to be a few tenths off here. 8.863. Yeah, it's not going to cut it. Okay, let's see if we can find something a little better. Let's take a look at another stage 6 to see if there's anything stronger here. Typically, and I'm going off of memory here, I think trans is pretty strong on this car. Yep, trans. Let me see the numbers. Oh, that's a nice jump. Okay. And that's untuned, so fully tuned, that might be even higher. That's a pretty good jump. Let's take a look. There, 8.706. Definitely has a lot of hope. Oh, wow, more points here too. Well, this might do it. 8.642. Wow. Pretty close. Now, if I can get just a few more points, it'll be great, but I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. 8.640. Okay. So I'm not sure that's gonna be enough. I would have to practice and get the launch pattern down in a way that I can get 8.6 flat or so. But don't forget, sometimes you get a slightly slower opponent. Maybe we can hope for that. Maybe not. It really depends. Okay, different opponent. Let's see what it runs. Again, I might have been better off using nitrous in second. In third, well, it was close, but no cigar there. Let's see what the opponent ran. I'm probably going to need a second stage 6, but yeah, that's a little fast. Okay, all right. So instead of messing with things, I mean, let's just throw another stage 6 in just to get it done. Obviously, with transmission being so strong, anything pretty much added in to this should be sufficient. We'll go ahead and throw nitrous, which was what I obtained from the event itself, in with transmission and see what that does. Now, same issue as always. If you don't have trans or body and or nitrous and other strong stage 6s, even with 2 you may not make it. You may need 3. But this one with 2 gives you a nice buffer of making sure you can beat the opponent even if you don't drive that well. So that's the good news there. Right. Again, once I don't see full red, I'm really not concerned with it. Now, even if I see red, but it's 3/4 red rather than full 4 bars of red, that still means I can beat it, and that's just a matter of practice or maybe spending a few pips of gas. But full 4-bar red, usually you're not even close to beating it. Okay, so that was the HP 750. Again, we needed, HP 1200. Dodge, we needed 2 stage 6s. Now we're up to the Copo Camaro. Let's take a look at the Copo. I suspect the opponent will run the same kind of time as the other two, 8.6 or so, which means I'm going to need a stage 6 at the minimum. Yep, 9.2. Let's see what the opponent ran. 8.76. Actually, that's pretty slow. Now, this is where, let's say if I had the HP 1200 locked in for this race and it's actually 8.7s, I'd be good to go. But probably not. Okay, now we got tire for this one. And I can tell you right now that's not going to be enough just by looking at the number change. I don't even need to go fine tune it. I'm not going to mess with it. Let's just put the strong one in, dump body in there, and boom. You get a nice jump in evil points and therefore a nice jump in performance. Let's see if this is enough. It might be enough because 8.7 from 9.2 is like a 4/10. And these body stage 6s tend to drop a lot more than that. 8.59 to your 8.7. I should have no problem. Oh, and I got more here. Hold on. I got more. 8.545. Let's just take it and run with it. This car also beats dyno slightly, so I may even get lucky and get like an 8.3, 8.4 run. Then it would really be no issue. But regardless, orange, it's not going to be a problem. So even with the 8.5 dyno, this race isn't going to be that bad. I didn't even get the launch right. Okay, so this one won't be beating dyno. If anything, I'll run dyno or slightly slower. And success. So again, the Copo's the strongest car here, as you can see, 8.631. Plus it's the first lock-in, which happens to have the easiest of the final race out of the 3. Okay, not a 4 full bar extreme, which tells me right now that this is beatable. I'm going to beat this, no problem. Just got to make sure I get the Copo run right. Oh, there it is. Needle drop is the best for this car. Nitrous in 3rd, and boom, done. With that lead, and the fact my other cars are running stage 6s, things just got a little bit easier. And it's probably going to get even easier because I don't see this relay being difficult at all. All right, again, I really don't know if I'm doing it right here with this Cobra jet. I'm sure people will comment about the shift patterns and stuff. The point is, if you can get it tuned or shifted to get under dyno, you may be able to make it through this entire event on one stage 6 for each car. But again, it depends on the strength of the stage 6. That is assuming full fusion. That's assuming you pull one of the slower opponents out of whatever number that are available for these final races. That's a lot of ifs. But we know for sure it's not a difficult event in that I was able to beat it with basically almost no additional stage 6. Now, race 60 for some reason gives you a second stage 6 for the 3rd lock-in. They probably assume you're locking in the weakest car or the one missing the most stage 6s last. I guess that makes sense, but hey, bottom line is that's that. Remember to save some credits for the American Series for now. I wonder where I'm going to spend that. I guess on stage 6s because you already have all the prize cars, and one of the cars from here I think is getting used in that for the first lock-in, and that's it. So the only reason I would save credits is for getting some stage 6 for one of the prize cars potentially. Okay, so the Boulevard ultimately wasn't that difficult an event. There are no prize cars, so I didn't expect it to be super difficult. Out of the 3 cars that you use in this, if I were to lean towards one car out of the 3, I would say the Copo Camaro is probably the fastest choice at stage 5 here. None of these cars are super good in live, so don't hold your breath that you're going to take these and instantly start to win a bunch of races in live. They're very cool cars. They're older cars in the game at this point, and they're just simply not that super competitive against other much newer and better low performance point cars. Not to say any of these are terrible cars. They're fun. The Ford Cobra Jet, for example, is a huge dyno buster. So fun cars, definitely cool to have, but are they worth all your gold keys right now just to get through the event? My answer to that is probably not. This event doesn't give me enough rewards to justify full expenditures. I already had cars built. That's the reason why I went for it. And with fully built cars, it's basically a walk in the park. All right. So that is the Boulevard final 10-15, I think it's final 10 races. Let me know what you think. If you run into any trouble, feel free to comment and maybe I can help you. But bottom line is, luck of the draw on stage 6s comes into play with every one of these events. If you like the video, leave a like. If you like my channel, subscribe, hit the bell, and get notifications. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.